I just bought this 2012 X5 diesel at auction. I thought this was going to be a great pickup as it was a clean title, running, driving car. But what was the catch? When the car showed up, we discovered that it did not have the ability to stop, so we went ahead and got the brakes replaced. At least on the front. The back was a bit of a different story as the wheel was completely seized on there. But after about 6 hours of hammering and pounding, this is what we ended up with. There it goes. Yes! Woohoo! All right, so as we saw from that last clip, we had a victory. We got the wheel off. Rotor's not looking great. We're gonna get the brakes done. And then hopefully see what these codes are all about. All right, so we got the wheels and brakes on. Everything's looking okay. Now, before we go on the first drive, there's one thing I need to address. That is, for some reason, the hood does not want to strike on this side. This one's fine, but this one seems to not want to properly function. So I'm gonna take a quick look at this, and then hopefully the next one will be going around the block. All right, so we got everything all connected. Looks like the hood latch was just not as far forward as it needed to be, so I got that reset. Closed now, no more hood error. We do have to check engine light still. The battery and the key is dead, so no comfort access at the moment. But we're gonna use BimmerLink here and see what codes we got. So error memory. All right, so 12 errors, comfort access, gear selector switch, locking system, manual lane defect. So we can review the report here. So we got glow plug, EGR, boost pressure, power management, okay. Oil wear, I know it needs an oil change. We do still have oil in it though. And locking system, lock manual, lane defect. Okay, so these are just what we're gonna have to look into, and we'll see what they mean in a little bit. Here's another one of those situations where I messed up. So when we took it out for the first test drive, I was using my phone to record as my GoPro was having some issues, and the case that my Sony cam is in is not good for audio. So when I got in the car, my phone hooked up to the Bluetooth and it recorded everything through the car mic, so it is completely inaudible. But basically, what happened was we went out, we gave it a little bit of gas on the first go just to see, make sure it stops, and it immediately went into reduced engine power. So we went back to the shop to take a look at it. All right, so we got back. We ran into a little issue, which I guess is pretty common on the E70s. We also got gloves, which I'm super happy about. So the hood latch actually, once I got it latched, did not want to unlatch. So I was able to get the front grille out and pop that off. That's a nightmare. That not something that I'm super thrilled about, but I'll get it resolved. Now, the real question is those codes. It looks like the boost pressure sensor is a common fault for this. So I'm gonna pull that off, take a look at that. I'm not super concerned with the EGR codes at the moment for a few reasons. And then we did get that boost pipe charge warning. So I'm wondering if the line with the boost hoses. Charge pipe. The charge pipe is broken somewhere downstream. So we're gonna pop this back off, take a look at that, and then see how we're doing. All right, so not great news. Looks like the 2 screws on the back of this cover are stripped out completely. So we're gonna pull all of this stuff off, vacuum this whole area up. Alright, so after about an hour fight, I ended up just pulling the acoustic panel off. Let's see if we can get some light here. Because that guy right there was stuck. So here's the sensor, I think, is possibly the issue. It doesn't look like it's got like a very good seat in there, so we'll pop that off, clean it out, and see what it looks like. So this guy actually didn't look that bad. It had a little bit of carbon buildup on it, but nothing too bad. So we'll get this pop back in and see how she runs after. All right, so we're getting back out here taking a look at this, and I think I found one of the major problems here. Let's see if I can get this line out of the way. This line right here, let's see if I can get it focused. So I believe the stock ones are red, but this line has a tear in it right there. So I think we may have found the problem to our check engine lights. So I'm gonna get these all swapped out with some new silicone ones. Basically where we're at, sorry about that, we have the vacuum pump actuator, I don't know what this is. But it houses all the vacuum stuff. We need to run new lines. I've got this one off of the T cut already, which goes over to this switch. And then this red one obviously loops around and goes along the whole top to the front. Down here, let's see if I can get some light. Down there, in the void. Got most of that mess cleaned up. So now it's going to be just kind of redoing all these lines with our silicone vacuum lines. So we're going to keep at this, and then hopefully we'll have it done here shortly. We did have one casualty. When I was taking the grill out after the hood got stuck, I did end up breaking the tabs on it, so that's now on the list. But I may get black ones because I think they look a little bit better. But we'll see. Priority is going to be getting it running and driving and having no issues before we do cosmetics.
And once again, Bluetooth grabbed my audio here when I was recording with my phone and ended up going through a microphone from our speaker system. But as you can see, the lines are really in bad shape here. So I'm glad we went ahead and got those all serviced and replaced. Even if it wasn't the main issue, I do think it was probably a big contributing factor to the problems we were having. So we went ahead and got those all taken care of and got everything a little bit more cleaned up as well.
All right, so we're on the new camera. We're now using an Action 4 DJI, and we got some new stuff. We got more vacuum line, and I got one single glow plug to take a look at cylinder 2. So today's mission, we're going to be ripping all this off and replacing glow plug cylinder 2 and replacing the rest of these vacuum lines. I did actually get a wash. I got it up, hit it with the power washer. Everything cleaned up pretty well. I don't see anything too majorly wrong, and I don't feel like I'm going to get a disease touching it now. So we're going to get to ripping this guy apart. Fortunately, these are pretty easy. Once you get the air box off, it's like 20 bolts, and the intake should just slide right out. So we'll get to that and see where we are in a little bit. It's currently 2:43, so let's get started. So that took about 40 minutes to get done, and I think the majority of the time was actually spent trying to remove that one single bolt, which is just right there. We're not looking too bad. Obviously, all of these ports have a little bit of carbon buildup. Same with the intake runners, but when we pull this off to hopefully remove that down there, which appears to be covered in oil. Oh wait, that's... I think that gasket right there is leaking, actually. Okay. A lot of oil everywhere. We're going to replace glow plug 2 and rerun these vacuum lines down here, which appear to also be a little holy. So we're going to get this knocked out and report back shortly. All right, so it's the next day. I didn't actually end up getting to run ISTA on it. My camera died right as I was getting ready to, so I figured I'd call it, especially after dealing with the shop being so cool yesterday. But one thing I did notice is that, let's see if you can see here, the map sensor was pretty dirty. So I went ahead and pulled this out and cleaned the end off, tried blowing in it, and I wasn't getting any reading from it. So I'm hoping that that was part of the problem. The connector has apparently been eaten by the void, so I'm gonna find that, plug that in, and then we'll get to run ISTA and see what codes we're getting. I also, with rushing yesterday, forgot to connect this back up, didn't have the map on. So we're gonna get all that thrown back on here and then give it a test. So, cool. So everything's back together, this is all plugged in. We got the map sensor plugged in. So let's go ahead and start it and see. All right, so we're gonna check it out with ISTA. This is gonna take a second, and then we'll be able to get a better idea of what codes are running. It's idling well, still revs pretty good. So hopefully clearing that out fix the issue. All right, so here's everything we have. And it's less than last time. We've got oil wear, and that's it. So why do we have the check engine light still? I'm gonna clear it. I think we're gonna go for a little test drive. Because it didn't even pop the glow plug error like it had prior. Okay, switch it off. All right. Let's see if all it needed was a little cleaning and some brakes and some vacuum line. Let's see if we can make some boost now. This is so exciting. Okay. I'm not super hopeful, to be honest. Most of the time when the codes popped up, it was right after accelerating. So we'd only be able to take it up to like 2,000 RPM, 20 miles an hour, and then it would throw it in limp mode. But these codes would pop up pretty much immediately as we would start the car. So since they're not happening now, maybe we'll be in better shape. Okay, nothing yet. Oh, this is the fastest I've ever gotten to go in it. Okay, we're looking pretty good. Okay. Oh, and it's back. But it doesn't seem like it's all the time, because I feel like we're out of it now. But then if I really give it some gas, back to reduced power, engine malfunction. So we have more codes than last time, which I think is better than none. But we have a DDE charge air tube monitoring. I haven't seen that one before. EGR. I'm pretty sure the spring is broken on this, but I'm not too worried about any of the EGR stuff. Air system to air to EGR mass flow plausibility. Charging pressure plausibility. Glow plug. EGR, back pressure before turbocharger. So this is not something I was hoping to see. It's having an issue communicating with the DDE, and these M57s, I guess, are known for diesel soaking up the wires and then into the DDE. So I'm hoping that's not the case. If so, we may be cracking into that and seeing if we can fix it. But I'm hoping that that's not the case. All right, checking everything under here. Everything's testing fine. So what we're gonna do is we are going to pull the DME out, or the DD, and see if we've got some diesel intrusion. I'm really hoping we don't. That would be not great for the budget. So it looks like we lucked out. All of the pins in here look good. So at least we can, verify that that's not the problem. The two main culprits we have are this guy right here, and our map sensor on the other side. I do have another map sensor on the way, and I may go borrow the MAF off of my brother's car to see if that fixes any problems. I don't think it will, but I'd rather just be safe than sorry. I may also go get a pressure tester, a coolant one, and then run it through the intercooler piping and see if we have any leaks in any of those hoses, because that could also be a problem. But it feels like it's making a decent amount of boost before it goes into limp mode. So I don't think we have any leaks in our charged air system. I think it's a sensor. All right, so we've got it back together. We have pillaged some parts off of my brother's car. Which one do you guys like better, the white or the brown? I'm keen on the brown because you don't see them very often. So, got it all thrown back together. We swapped maps. So let's see if we get any different results with the test drive. I did undo the battery, so we're gonna get a million more codes. So it'll take a second to clear those, and then go for a drive. All right, so I'm a little upset I missed it. I went and took the map sensor off of my brother's car and put that in, and no check engine light. It revs all the way out. We do still have a check engine light for the EGR, I'm pretty sure. We're running one more scan with Vista. But I think it was just as simple as map sensor, brakes, and then the cowling stuff to make sure it doesn't leak water and cause a bunch of issues as the M57s do. But once the scan's done, I will double check the results and see what codes we have, and hopefully that's it, and we'll be able to start driving this guy. And okay, so the only codes we have now are just the glow plug and oil wear, which will get taken care of when I go pick up some oil, and a reverse light, which I think I have some laying around conveniently. So I have a new sensor that will be here tomorrow, and then we'll go take this guy for its maiden voyage after we get some new oil in it and see how she does. And then hopefully we can get around to cleaning it, because it is gross in here.
Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys liked the video, leave a like. If you guys didn't like it, leave a dislike. Let me know what you thought. Comment down below. And subscribe if you're new around here. We're going to try uploading every other week. And hopefully next time here, we'll get to see how the car does out actually on the road. We'll see you guys in the next one.